Yeah, Dana, what was that quote Dana gave when they asked him? You said it earlier. They
Yeah, they
asked him
said
about,
cocaine is expensive. Gotta make money.
One, I'm a good friend of yours, Oscar De La Hoya, has announced he's coming out of retirement to box again. I just wondered if you had any.
Cocaine isn't cheap. It's expensive. Got to make money.
hey, listen, some people are going to say it's mean spirited. We're in a tough business that can be mean. Uh, Dana didn't start this fight. Oscar started it from the way I understand it. That not that I'm that interested in it, but you start a fight, you better be ready for what comes back at you. And Oscar was doing some promoting with Golden Boy of some of the MMA fighters, I believe, a while
Yeah,
back.
he put a couple very old, beat up, shop worn fighters in there. Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. Chuck much more so than Tito, and sure enough, Chuck got knocked out and beat up pretty good. And
Listen,
Dana is friends with those guys, friends with Chuck, and was not happy that Oscar provided him a venue to fight
I
again.
think you're right, but I think it was also something Oscar said, because right now we're talking about words. Oscar
Yeah,
said that basically made an excuse for doing it or whatever, a reason for doing it. Just do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. But instead, he said, I'm doing this. Dana White doesn't pay these guys enough. And you know what? He had no reason to be saying that. He should have kept his mouth shut. That's my feeling. I'm not on either side, but I'm on the side of what I believe is right. And from what I understand from that, hey, you want to come into the business, go do what you want to do. It's America. It's the greatest country in the world. You got an opportunity to do what you want, and you've done great, and you have done great. But don't don't go and make an excuse for it. Don't go and a guy who's in the business, who's done, who's built the business up, who sold. His people sold the business for $4 billion. Don't go and say that he's doing something wrong. He's not paying guys enough. Just go and promote. Go and do what you want to do. That's all. You don't have to open your mouth. He opened his mouth, and guess what? Uh, Dana's been opening his mouth since he's done that. Listen, at least Tyson coming back was smart enough to come back with another shot fighter, also in his 50s, um, who is well beyond his prime. So say what you want. It's a money grab. It's this, it's that. But Tyson's smart enough to do that. But Oscar now, oh my God, he's talking about coming back with the top guys. You know, that's. I think I just said it by that. That's enough. I mean, that's dangerous, and that would not be suggested by me to be doing that. I mean, you haven't fought for 12 years. You're 47 years old. You got beat up in your last fight by Pacquiao. You kind of, I guess, you submitted in the fight, right? You gave up in the fight. You were taking a beating around the eighth round, whatever it was. If my memory serves me. I don't have it in front of me, but you know, you that's dangerous. I mean, like the first question I would, again, I'm not trying to be a wise guy, but sometimes this stuff you can't help it. You know what? You can't make this stuff up, and you just have to deal with it for what it is. So you can't help it but say, Oscar, you okay? Like you want to. I mean, the first, I want to come back and I want to fight. I think in the welterweight division. I think, and probably the best division in boxing. It's the welters, the lightweights, the light heavyweights. Tremendous talent there right now, close to what was there in the '80s when you had great talent. And and that guy tells you, I'm 47. I've probably had some personal issues with drugs and stuff, pretty public. I'm not saying anything that's not out there. You've had some issues. God bless them. I hope you get over them and all. But you're gonna this. You think this is a good decision? The first thing again when you hear it, I got again. I'm not trying to be a wise guy. It's kind of like this stuff's being handed to me. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? What are you supposed to do? It's you gotta. What else can I say except if he says that, you got to say, "You okay? You okay, Oscar?" Like obviously he's got stuff going on. He's everyone has problems. Everyone's got things in their life, but you don't always know about it because they're not public figures. We know a little bit more, whether we should or not, about Oscar because he's a public figure and that he's got some issues. And we hope as decent people, you hope he gets through it. He's got some demons. He's got some stuff going on. But if you're going to use this to get through it, which he's basically saying, he's being honest without knowing it. He's saying, I love boxing, makes me feel better. I'm not so sure at 47 getting hit with left hooks and right uppercuts by guys like Spence and Crawford and and those kind of guys. I don't know that Porter, all of them. I don't know that's going to make you feel better. I'm not so sure. I understand that in your mind it's therapy, maybe. I think that's fair. Looking at his track record, looking at what we're dealing with. But go on a couch and talk to somebody. It's a lot safer than getting in a freaking ring at this point in your life. And I'm not trying to be a psychologist, but being a trainer in this business for my whole life, you kind of automatically are. If you're any good at what you do in this business, and getting results, you kind of are a psychologist. And I don't know what his thing is, but obviously there are certain issues. And Oscar was a guy that was a gold medalist. That's a hell of an accomplishment. Let's not get away from the positive. He was a gold medalist. He was a several weight class world champion, undefeated. He became a matinee idol to girls. He crossed over in the sport where he brought fans that normally don't get brought to the sport, girls, teeny boppers, where they were screaming like they were like at a Dustin Bieber concert. They were like, oh, and you don't see that. He did that. He really did that. And he had that kind of attraction, that allure, that girls were coming up, people were coming to watch him. And so he had all that working for him, Ken. And then he was a bit of a pioneer too, where, see, I believe in giving credit, breaking it down, good, bad, ugly, all of it. And he was a bit of a pioneer where he was making real good money. He was fine, but he realized that he didn't need a promoter. He was the star. He didn't need a guy building him up to get him to a network. The network wanted him. He didn't need a promoter taking most of his money. So he left Arum, he left Top Rank, and he created his own promotional with Richard Schaefer, a guy that he met. He created his own promotional company and made all the money. And he continues with that. And so there's a guy who's really done a lot in this sport. See, when we started with, there's a lot of people out there that don't like him, do like him. They probably didn't expect me to go down this road, but it's a road that's there to go down. I think it's fair. He's done a lot. But now he doesn't have a good relationship with Canelo. I don't think he's got a good relationship with the other star, Ryan Garcia, who could be the star. He's right on the cusp of becoming that star, the next Canelo maybe. Good-looking kid, he can fight. He's getting ready to fight for a full world title. And he, his moment, his day is coming. He's like I said, he's a good-looking kid. He crosses over to the appeal that we talked about with De La Hoya. He's got a bunch of followers on social media. He's very savvy. He's very smart. He'll get his moment. He'll get his chance to go to that next point the way De La Hoya did it. But De La Hoya's, he's had some problems, some issues with his company, with these fighters, public knowledge of some drug use. Again, you hope that he gets it together. If I put my psychology hat on, he's always been the kind of kid that we all have insecurities, all of us, but they don't all get shown the way that they get brought out when you get in the ring for a living. They come to the surface a lot harder, a lot faster, and they stay. They sometimes don't go back in the hole. And I think he's trying to put them back in the hole. And this is the only way he knows how to do it. And I think he's the kind of kid he wants to be liked. I think he really, that he wants to be liked. There's some people, me, I got past that. I got past that, Ken. No,
I think you're right. I don't think he likes not being the star of the show. He's in the ring all the time. I think that he relishes that role and craves that public adulation.
I would say, and again, it's going to come off from being a wise guy, but I just said all the nice things, all the proper things that I should say. But it's dangerous what he's looking to do now. And, he wants someone to be his friend. Somebody close to him, go get him a dog. No, I'm saying, get it's a lot safer. Sit down with the dog, let the dog lick you, go for a walk. I'm just saying, it's a lot safer than being in there with these young marauders that can punch and that's going to come after you. It wasn't good 12 years ago for you. It ain't going to get better. Mm-hmm. I mean, it ain't going to get better.